Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm going to be answering some questions for a friend of mine. I identify as bisexual, and I guess let's get started. Have you ever had a crush on the opposite gender? Yes. I have two crushes at the moment, and it's a little difficult because they both identify as straight, so they're not into me that way. So, did coming out affect your relationships in a negative way? With my parents, yes. My mother, she was actually a little more understanding. She just thought I was more confused and wanting to fit in than anything else. But my dad, he outright denied that it was possible for me to be bisexual and refused to even talk about it. So that was a tough time. But my friends actually, they accepted me, which was interesting. I never really brought it up around my friends though, unless the subject came up, because I didn't have a boyfriend for a very long time, so they were very curious about me. And but when the subject did come up, they were very embracing. I think there was only one friend who wasn't, and she was a staunch Christian at the time, and she still hung out with me, but she always tried to kind of guide me. And I even went to a couple of church events with her because they were fun. And I never felt like I needed to change myself. I loved who I was, and I felt much better for coming out and it being all out in the open. It actually inspired one of my other friends to come out. He was struggling with his own identity, and he confided in me one day. He said, I'm gay. I don't like living this lie that I live. And I felt really honored that he trusted me with that information, and that he took my advice, and he came out, and all his friends accepted him. And so it was really nice to feel like I helped him with that struggle. Let's see. What is a misconception about gay people that you think people should know the truth about? Well, this goes for gay people, bisexual, transgender, all this stuff. Just because we are attracted to one gender, or maybe even both genders, does not mean we're attracted to everyone in the world. I could have a best friend who's a girl, and she's very good looking, but I wouldn't like her because she's not my type. Everyone has a type. For me, it's a lot about personality too. I like someone's personality more, and if their personality is like funny or smart or like nerdy, I'm really into nerdy people. I fall really hard for them, regardless of looks. And I just don't think that, just because someone's gay or bisexual doesn't mean that, we're attracted to everyone. So don't flatter yourselves, people. We're not attracted to everyone. Let's see. Why do bisexual people feel the need to come out when they are already in a relationship with the opposite gender? Well, when you're in a relationship with someone, you want complete and total honesty. And if you're hiding a secret, if you're hiding something that is a part of you, you're going to struggle. And it's going to make things really awkward if it does come up later, just out of the blue. You want to make sure that if you're in a relationship with someone, they're going to love you for all your aspects. And if they don't, you don't want to go for 7 years, have it come out, and then that relationship just hits the fan because they don't accept. My boyfriend accepts me for who I am, no matter what. I'm bisexual. We're actually in a polyamorous relationship, where he can go and, have a fling with a girl, and I can go and have a fling with a guy, and we don't care because it doesn't stop our love for each other. So it's, one of those adult conversations you have to have with your soulmate if you want to have a happy life. Do you have more of a preference for men or women? Well, I have more of a preference for men, but that's just because I enjoy men's company more than women's. Girls in my life always seem to bring drama, and I don't like drama. I would prefer to keep it out. Now, there's a few times I like to gab and gossip like any other person, but when they're purposefully bringing drama into my life because they are dramaholics, which I have a lot of friends who are like that. I prefer not, and girls seem to be the most dramatic out of all the bunch. Not saying girls are bad. I love my gal pals, but they're big drama queens. But so for me, it's more, I have a preference for men. So I haven't asked if I have any advice for people who are, like gay or bisexual or any other, anything else. And I think the best advice I can possibly have is just be yourself. Do not be afraid to be who you are, no matter what other people may think. Now, that doesn't mean if you're uncomfortable with something, it doesn't mean prance around with, pride flags all day and just sing I'm a little fairy and all that. But if you want to prance around with pride flags and sing, then do that. Don't be afraid of how other people are going to judge you. Just protect yourself. Don't. It's all up to the person and how they feel. It's not a one person thing. It's just like one person can tell you how you feel and all that. No, it's how you feel. Do what you feel comfortable with. And in the end, that's all that really matters, is your happiness. So, let's see if I can find another question here. What were you most afraid of when you made the decision to come out of the closet? It happened when I wanted to participate in the Day of Silence, and I was trying to break to my parents that I was going to participate in that the night before, and they asked me why. I said, oh, well, I have a friend, trying not to tell them because I knew my dad's stance on it all. And they just kept pressing of why I would want to do this for a friend. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And finally, I got so fed up with it, I just came out with it and said, it's because I'm bisexual, okay? I remember feeling the tears burst from my eyes because it was out, it was done, there was no taking it back, and I just remember the dead silence in the room. And then my dad just being like, no, you're not. That's impossible because it's just not you. And I don't remember even knowing what to say at that moment. And we just kind of finished our dinner and kept it at that. But, long story short, my mom said, you can participate in the Day of Silence, but when you come home, that ends. At school, I don't care what you do, but at home, you are not participating. I just remember feeling so hurt that I didn't even want to talk at school the next day. So it kind of made sense of why the Day of Silence, it just hit home then for people with no voices. Like, that's they don't want to talk. It's not just the fact that they can't speak, it's the fact that they don't even want to because they're afraid of the judgment they'll receive. So that really just kind of hit home, and I was most afraid of that, and it did happen, but at least I had found solace in my friends. That was the important part. So I hope that I answered a bunch of good questions, and I really hope that I could help someone out there with my answers. So thank you.